You're listening to New England Real Estate Journal Radio with Rick Kaplan, New England source for commercial real estate news. This is New England Real Estate Journal Radio on the Money Matters Radio Network and online at moneymattersboston.com.
Welcome to the New England Real Estate Journal Radio Show. I'm Rick Kaplan with Eric Wilson, and we're at the top of the, actually not the top, the 12th floor of
Still
the
high enough.
Troy Boston building that they're placing the final beam on the top of the building.
Is that what they call it, the beam topping?
Yeah, well, is it the beam topping? I think they just call it the topping.
The topping.
And we're looking over the city of Boston, which is on a beautiful day like today. It's a gorgeous sight.
It is. You don't realize how big the city is until you're in the middle of it and on top of it.
And, you know, it's the first time we've ever done a show without any walls or this high up from the ground.
And with this big of an audience, too, behind us.
That's right. We got a full crowd here.
We also have hard hats on.
We have hard hats on. we have hard
Let's stop right now.
We have hard hats
It's
on.
hard enough
And
to speak this.
All right, we're not going to go
a
any
couple
further.
hard heads and a couple hard hats.
Yeah.
Check it out, the Troy Boston building. We're really excited to do this show here. Hopefully we'll have a few guests that are going to talk. I know that
they have
the speaking
Mayor
program will take place.
Mayor Walsh is coming in.
And beautiful location, apartment buildings they're putting in here. I'm excited for the show.
Yeah, no, this is pretty exciting.
It
Up
is.
this high, looking out, no walls.
I'm always this high. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
No walls, you know.
Yeah, it's the wind.
Wind's
I don't know
blowing
if they
in.
can hear it, but we can definitely feel it.
Yeah.
It's great. It's amazing.
I mean,
we're
you
lucky
can-
to do a show here.
If you look over to the left, you can even see the Boston Harbor.
You can see
area.
the Boston Harbor. You get the highway to your left. You've got pretty much. You got a complete 360 view of the city. You're right in
right.
the center as you come in.
This
And,
would be a beautiful place to live.
It is. It's going to be a beautiful place for some people.
You know, and actually you can stand up here, you can look out over the Southeast Expressway,
Yeah.
and you can see everyone sitting in the traffic.
Yeah, well,
You know, I'd rather be standing up here than sitting down
very
there.
much so. We did get a little bit of traffic coming in. If people don't know where this is, we're on
It's Traveler Street.
Traveler Street, right near the Medieval
I think
Manor.
it's 100 Traveler Street.
We are right next to the Medieval Manor. I can see the building from here. That's how
This
I
is
recognize
actually
it.
what they call the ink block area.
This is the ink block.
And this used to be where the Herald building used to be.
Oh, nice.
And they're
little
building,
fun fact from Rick.
Yeah, they're
Thank
building
you.
all these condominiums and apartments,
Yeah.
and I assume they'll have all kinds of shopping that will be coming into the
Yeah.
area as well.
I agree.
So I mean, they're doing a very nice job here, and they're redoing this whole part of the city.
Yeah. Rick, why are you holding the mic?
I'm holding the
You
headset.
look like a radio operator that's taking an emergency
I'm
call.
holding the headset because it makes it easier for me to hear. But
you're like, hey. Oh, you're like on a helicopter ride. Mayday,
well,
mayday.
yeah,
we are down.
I'm getting some of the wind, you know, into the headphones.
Into the headphones?
But you know, I'm really excited to be up here.
I can tell. I thought this whole show you were going to talk about your fear of heights.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, well, that's because we're in the center.
Well, that's what, we're on the 12th floor. They said the 19th floor.
Does 7 floors more up make a difference?
Yeah.
Well, I think when you're up this high, you're up this high.
It does make a difference.
I guess it does to people with fear of heights.
But no, I'm glad to see that they have the floor done. You know, I
Yeah.
thought we were going to be walking in between beams up here.
Oh, really?
And and there's a roof over our head.
They don't let superstars like us up here without safety precautions.
Yeah,
I mean, they came in and checked the elevator yesterday. They knew what was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and they have it all set up. They had a guy at the elevator. I
Yeah.
thought we were going to be hoisted up by this crane out here.
It's our very first union radio show as well, where everything that had to be set up had to be done by another member of the union.
Yeah.
It made our production staff of Corey and Matt really excited.
Yeah, that was less work they had to do.
Exactly. You know, especially from us, us high demanding divas we are. How was your week last week?
Actually, last week, it was so long ago, I don't even remember.
I know that I was on the If Schmooze cruise.
Oh, that's right.
That was a blast.
Right outside of Boston Harbor.
Yeah, we left the Long Wharf. It was another fantastic event put on by that association.
It was a good thing you weren't on that whale cruise that went out yesterday.
Yeah, the one that had to stay out in the harbor all day.
Yeah, stayed out
bizarre.
overnight.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That was a bizarre story.
And, I also want to mention Revere having that tornado.
Oh.
and that was pretty devastating for that area.
Right,
which
right.
we're not used to getting tornadoes around here.
No. When you think tornadoes, you think flat ground. You think Nebraska, Oklahoma,
And
Arkansas.
Right, and our thoughts go out to all those people that had all the damage that was caused from the tornado. But I think we're going to go to a break. When we come back, hopefully we'll have some guests. They're going to have a few speakers.
Right.
And after the speakers come on, we'll try to pull some of those guests on and talk a little bit about what's going on in the city and in all of this ink block area, what's being developed here, and also this Troy Boston building.
All right, sounds good to me.
But right now, we'll be right back on Money Matters Radio Network.
The next level in commercial real estate. This is New England Real Estate Radio on the Money Matters Radio Network and online at moneymattersboston.com.
And we're back on New England Real Estate Journal Radio. I'm Rick Kaplan and Eric Wilson. And Eric, you want to introduce Kelly?
Sure. We're joined by Kelly Saito, the president of Gerding Edlen, and they were one of the designers of this building?
One of the developers.
Developers of this building.
So when did this whole concept start up?
Well, as Justin Krebs, who is a partner with Normandy Real Estate Partners, said earlier, he bought this property back in 2007. So the original kind of vision for redevelopment of this area goes all the way back to then, which predates the Herald site being redeveloped. It predates kind of the entire rezoning of this part of the South End.
No, it's been very positive. All the community around here, from what I understand.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of momentum around all of these projects that are happening in this part of the town. There's certainly been a tremendous amount of support, not just today, but through the past several years as kind of that entire process of rezoning and planning for these different types of projects to happen here have occurred. So the community support has been tremendous.
My question is, why is it called Troy Boston?
It's named Troy Boston, actually. So that goes back to the kind of historical train yards that were in the area, and the streets were actually named from the rail yards, and one of the streets was named Troy.
Oh, okay.
And it goes back to the same rail yards that basically linked between here and in New York.
Okay. I didn't know if it was the great city of Troy. Way back in the day, I was like, oh, maybe they named it after that to build this great castle.
So how many stories, how many apartments will be in this building?
So this project has two buildings. One's 19 stories, one's 11 stories. There will be a total of 378 apartments in the two combined buildings.
And will it be retail on the floor?
There'll be commercial retail on the ground floors, fronting Berkeley and Traveler Street.
Nice.
Now, are you renting them currently? Have you started?
We are going to launch our marketing campaign in the coming days. So it'll come right on the heels of basically this ceremony and this announcement of Troy Boston and the name and all of that.
Now, you also mentioned a truck that will be driving around?
Yeah, so we did something different here, where instead of kind of creating a traditional marketing center where you rent a space and you build it out and build models, we took a food truck. I mean, it's literally a food truck, and we modified it to be a mobile marketing center. The outside of it is wrapped and branded in kind of the Troy Boston logo. And then we'll do all of our marketing kind of from that truck. The truck can be parked here at times. We can drive it around the South End through the neighborhood, take it to different events that are happening in the community. So we hope it'll be an interesting and unique approach to marketing a project.
Well, it does sound,
it sounds like a good idea.
You're moving around your marketing offices as opposed to keeping it in one location. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the show, Kelly, and
good luck to building this out, and hopefully we'll be back during the groundbreaking.
Yeah,
right.
I think it's a great project.
All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Rick Kaplan and Eric Wilson, right here on the Money Matters Radio Network and online at moneymattersboston.com. New England Real Estate Journal Radio.
And we have our next interview from Troy Boston with Justin Krebs of Normandy Realty Partners. Did I do that right?
Normandy Real Estate Partners.
Real
but you
estate.
got it. You
Oh,
can always
so
abbreviate things,
close.
keep it going.
I was so
That's
close.
just fun.
So tell us a little bit about how this whole project came about, your vision of this project.
I think this vision is is really something that's special that came together. When we originally acquired the site back in 2006, we actually acquired it before anything was going on at the Herald site. It was a disposition from Teradyne. It was over an acre, so we could do a PDA, which allowed us to come with a larger development plan on the site. But what we saw was that there were only a few parcels left to fill in a neighborhood. A lot of times people are looking to like recreate a neighborhood or redo it. This was just filling in some of the final blocks. We felt this was an important one, felt the Herald site was an important one. So back in '06 we began working with the city and the BRA to figure out what would make the most sense. Originally we planned this, it was going to be a 2-hotel project just because of the needs of the convention center and kind of where the market was at that time. About that time that we finally got that figured out, the market went into a downturn, and the city suggested a citywide planning endeavor, which was called the Albany-Harrison Corridor Planning, which rezoned the entire south end area along this corridor from Harrison south to the 93 underpass. And what that did was really set up for a more logical and concrete way to develop the neighborhood. It included us being able to get a height of up to 200 feet because of our bordering the I-93 overpass, and because of a recognition for the need for that. It also kind of created a buffer to the neighborhood where the height was anchored on this end and then allowed respectful development to kind of occur from this corner on that end.
Now, is this going to change the whole outlook of this part of the city?
Well, we think that this project and some of the other projects in this neighborhood, including the ink block site that National's doing, what Ron Drucker's doing with some of the other developers in this area, I think we feel like we're proud to be one of the catalysts that saw the vision early, recognized that we were going to need to work through it with the city, and we've come up with what we think is a great project. It was fabulous to have our partners Gerding Edlen come in because Gerding brought a lot of the I'll call it high design on the residential side, a lot of the green technologies that we were sporting to explore as a firm, but they had done that over at 319 A Street. So we feel it's a great partnership, and it is really the coming together with the vision we saw back in.
And it's a perfect location because you have a gorgeous view from every corner of this building,
Right,
for the city.
That's one of the key things here, because of the existing setbacks and some of the existing zoning, and because we're right on that edge. Our views should remain this way for a very long time. And I think you said it, and Kelly said it in his interview. I mean, when you look back, the view out to the rest of the south end, the view back at the back bay, out to the city, out to the South Boston and the harbor, you really can't get anything better than this. And it is a really fun and eclectic neighborhood, which is also one of the things that both we and Gerding wanted to target.
And
Right.
when do you think this is going to, they said 5 months that you'll have people actually in here?
Yes, so I think the targeted strategy is essentially we'll go into kind of the pre-leasing endeavors at the end of this year, and we'll be starting to have people lease and occupy the buildings early next year in 2015.
Wow.
That'll start with the mid-rise tower because that's a little bit ahead on the development cycle, and then it'll be finished up with this project.
Is there a website that people could go to see a little bit about the project, or even information about maybe even renting?
Yes, I think it's troyboston.com. I can confirm that, but
that's
I'm almost
easy
positive.
enough to
yes,
remember.
Worst case, you can always Google Troy Boston. Okay.
That's right, but I'm pretty sure it's troyboston.com, and you can definitely, if you Google Troy, Troy Boston, you'll be able to come up with the website. But it's full detail on the design, very unique, some stuff that they brought from the West Coast. So I think it'll be
Nice.
innovative and different than some of what we've seen in some of the more traditional residential development in Boston.
Yeah, we'll be interested to see the completed project.
Yeah, we'll be here for the groundbreaking.
We'll look forward to having you guys come back. Maybe we can even get you a place, and then you can experience the
Yeah.
neighborhood
Yeah.
and all it has to
Yeah.
offer.
Now you're talking.
Now you're talking. You've sweetened the deal. Maybe.
Exactly.
Thank you, Justin.
so
we
much,
appreciate
Justin.
coming on.
Appreciate
All
your
right.
time.
Thank you so much.
And we'll be right back on Money Matters Radio Network.
Rick Kaplan is right here on the Money Matters Radio Network. New England's commercial real estate scene is covered right here on the Money Matters Radio Network with Rick Kaplan.